Good morning, Falcons. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. I'm Liliana,
And I'm Emma.
and this is your view from the Falcons' nest.
In this week's edition of Health Minute, the springtime change can mean waking up a little groggy. But the situation may be worse for many teenagers who appear to be getting less sleep than ever. Sleep plays a crucial role in adolescent brain development. It is essential for emotional regulation in teenagers and important for their overall physical and mental health. Researchers analyzed data from almost 121,000 high school students included in the Youth Risk Behavior Survey to understand trends in insufficient sleep, defined as less than 8 hours per night. The bottom line is that things have gotten worse. Roughly 3 out of 4 American adolescents across the demographics reported insufficient sleep in 2023, which is up by 8% since 2007. This trend was driven by an increase in teens getting very short sleep of 5 hours or less, which swelled from 15.8% to 23% over that same time period. It isn't clear what's behind this overall surge in less sleep, but it could be too many extracurricular demands and less parental monitoring. There are a few steps that teens can help to improve their sleep. These include dimming the lights and minimizing the use of electronics before bed, keeping a consistent sleep schedule, and maintaining a sleep environment that's cool, dark, and quiet. It's especially valuable to get outdoor light in the morning to set the brain's circadian rhythm for the day. Researchers have found that when schools begin the day later, teens get more sleep and perform better academically. And that's this week's edition of Health Minute.
Today is the annual severe weather warning test at 10 a.m., and you should hear a tornado siren at that time. But stay tuned for the real thing later on because of the forecast for tonight and early tomorrow. It will be generally cloudy but otherwise quiet for the first half of our day, with temperatures reaching 70 degrees. But severe weather is expected from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. Wednesday. Periodic severe weather is expected with all threats on the table. The main concern with the early window of storms is the favorable environment they likely develop in which is suitable for large hail and possibly tornadoes. The second window of storms overnight is more suited for damaging straight-line winds and heavy rain. Make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts overnight, and make sure to charge all devices necessary in case of power outages. Heavy rain continues through the first half of tomorrow before clearing out in the afternoon with a big cool down on the way the rest of the week. We'll have more on weather.
The John Glenn Theatre Company's production of Annie is this week. Reserve your tickets now at jjc.booktix.com. Tickets are $10 and can be reserved for Thursday, Friday, or Sunday. First two performances are at 7 p.m. The matinee is at 2 p.m. Sunday. Students and staff can purchase tickets with cash during the school day in the theater office, which is located at the end of the senior hallway near the choir room. Tickets also are available from Miss Forsman in the guidance office. And now to weather with Ryan.
Today's weather, an actual temperature of 60, river of 58, cloudy and fair air quality. Now the 3-day forecast. Tuesday's going to be a high of 69, rainy, and low of 54. Wednesday's going to be a high of 61, rainy, and low of 26. And Thursday's going to be a high of 46, partly cloudy, and a low of 43. Now to sports with Blake.
Today, we previewed the Class 4A matchups in this weekend's Indiana High School Boys Basketball Regionals. In our region, Chesterton will play Crown Point at Michigan City. The most anticipated matchup between two ranked teams pits Northridge against Southland St. Joseph at Plymouth. Fort Wayne Snyder will play Carmel at Newcastle. Harrison plays Homestead at Logansport. Mount Vernon is playing Pike at Southport, while Lawrence Central plays Decatur Central in southern Indiana. New Albany plays Castle at Southbridge. Cumulus North takes on Terre Haute North at Greencastle. Now back to lunch to Ryan.
Today's lunch is beef taco meat, chicken Caesar wrap, PB&J, ham chest salad, turkey chest salad, sides of taco toppings, and banana. Have a great day, Falcons.